Okay. Somebody will introduce
Good morning,
me?
everyone. Good afternoon. Yes, sir. So I will introduce you once we have quite a good number of participants, like students would be joining in next few seconds.
All right.
So I'll just check on the list of the participants. We have around 50 participants that already joined in. So we'll wait for another few seconds before the students, as they would have been attending their online classes, they have to shift to this another Zoom ID. So within the next few seconds, I'll be starting up with the webinar. So meantime, whosoever students are joining, welcome to the, once again, we are fortunate enough to have a great expert in the area of artificial intelligence and e-commerce. So we'll wait for another few minutes, another few seconds, sorry, before we move on, because I don't want anybody to be left alone or left behind. So everybody should be made a part of this webinar. So I can see the list of students, like from all the sections, they are joining in. We would take another 60 seconds. 60 students have already joined in. Right. Okay. So I'll start off with the introduction part. I would hope by the end of the introduction part, most of the students would have already joined in. So welcome all the students, to all the panelists, and to the very thank you for so much for Dr. Prateek Kalia for joining in from Czech Republic. Like we are very fortunate to have you with us. So today's topic of the webinar is artificial intelligence in e-commerce, and we have with us Dr. Prateek Kalia, and he is a postdoctoral research specialist at the Department of Corporate Economy, Faculty of Economics and Administration, Masaryk University, Czech Republic. So he is a specialist in the field of management, keen interest in the e-commerce, e-services, e-quality insurance, and consumer behavior. And he holds a degree of a PhD in management with a specialization in digital retail, online consumer behavior. So he is an expert in marketing as well as expert in artificial intelligence, as we say. So as far as research is concerned, Dr. Kalia has published around 20 research articles in various international and national journals, which are indexed in the Commerce Reuters, Scopus, ABDC, and all the renowned publications. And he has a professional experience of 19 years. He has worked in the top academic and corporates and government agencies, government administrative positions also. He was advisor and online faculty of Rationality Business School in South Africa. And he has been teaching students as all of us here at Apeejay. So he is our expert for today, and we are very fortunate to have him with us. So I would invite our director, Dr. Rajesh Bagga, to just say one to few lines, and then we can start off with Dr. Prateek Kalia.
Thank you, Kamal. Very good afternoon to all the panelists and all the attendees and faculty members and students from the different streams, BTech, BBA, BCA, BCom, even the MBA and MCA program. So thank you so much, Dr. Prateek Kalia, for joining with us for delivering a talk with regard to the artificial intelligence, with regard to the e-commerce. Students, happy to share with all of you, Dr. Prateek Kalia is a postdoctoral research specialist at the Department of Corporate Economy, Faculty of Economics and Administration, Masaryk University, Czech Republic. He is a specialist in the field of management with a keen interest in e-commerce, e-service quality, and consumer behavior. And I am quite optimistic he will be talking on some of the issues with regard to the artificial intelligence. And I am hoping he is going to touch areas like e-commerce firms around the world are now experimenting the new technologies such as big data analytics, the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, virtual reality, and blockchain technology to meet dynamic customer needs for customization of products, etc. E-commerce also enables small and medium-sized enterprises to reach global markets and compete on an international scale. This also it has improved economic efficiency and has created many few jobs in developing economies. Artificial intelligence has also helped in narrowing down the rural-urban divide. Artificial intelligence in commerce is playing a leading role in driving innovative solutions and customer experiences. And from on the behalf of faculty and students of Apeejay Institute of Management and Engineering, we are really thankful, Dr. Prateek Kalia, you have joined with us, and definitely with your valuable inputs on artificial intelligence with regard to e-commerce. In next 30 to 40 minutes, we are able to get a lot of inputs with regard to this. Thank you so much for joining with us.
So much, Dr. Saab, for such a generous introduction and for having me here. Good afternoon and Jai Mata Di. And
जय माता दी सर, जय माता दी। हैप्पी दुर्गा अष्टमी की सभी को ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं सर। थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you so much. So I'm glad I'll be sharing about artificial intelligence and e-commerce. But first, I would like to congratulate Dr. Saab, Dr. Rajesh Bagaji, Director, Apeejay Institute of Management and Engineering, Jalandhar Technical Campus, for having me here. I must say that if it is only due to his vision, because if his team is able to reach out people not just in India but outside India, that means students are in safe hands. So certainly they'll be getting a lot of opportunity and a lot of information through their faculty members. And I would also like to thank Dr. Vijay Rai for reaching me out. It is only due to his continuous follow-up, because I'm not doing much online lecturing or webinars. But finally, I have to accept his invitation. And I would also like to congratulate all the deans, head of departments, faculty members, and students. And they're doing their best, especially at such a challenging time during the times of COVID. And I'm sure, I can see that faculty is doing so much for the students, so they are in safe hands. Today, I'll be sharing my views on artificial intelligence in e-commerce. So I'm sharing my screen. I hope it is visible. So before I start my presentation, I would like to set your expectations. So I will be giving a brief introduction about artificial intelligence and the role of artificial intelligence in e-commerce, how artificial intelligence is rocking e-commerce industry. The content of this particular presentation are based on my forthcoming book chapter published by Taylor and Francis. If you like the presentation, you can always reach me out and you can write to me. I'll be happy to share my full book chapter. Otherwise, it is available. It will be available soon within 2 months. I have the Gala proof, so I can always share the information if you are interested. So before I talk about e-commerce and artificial intelligence, I would like to share something, in this slide regarding the e-commerce industry. I have taken example of Amazon.com, which is a very, very famous e-commerce company. As you can see, from 2017 to 2020, I have taken this comparative sales chart, in which you can see throughout these years, the sale is increasing, no doubt. The sale is hit by COVID, but I was reading a report and I could read that the sale has increased. Although you can say the constituent, the type of products are different. For example, instead of electronics, people are buying household stuff in this challenging time. So sale is still growing and a lot of transactions are happening, and e-commerce industry is very, very promising. And a lot of business transactions. I hope you are with me. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, because I stopped, listening. Okay. So a lot of transaction in e-commerce industry means a lot of data, and this data, with the help of data science, can be converted into information. And this information can be used for decision making by the top management and authorities. So since I'm talking about artificial intelligence, I will talk about data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. I will give a brief overview, but I'll be focusing on artificial intelligence. So data science is the extraction of knowledge and data by using different techniques and algorithms. And AI is a subset of data science, which mimics human behavior. And machine learning is further a subset of artificial intelligence, which enables machine to improve their experience. And deep learning is further subset of machine learning, which makes computation of multi-layer neural network feasible. Or you can say that deep learning is like we teach computers to think like humans, or at least think like a baby, to make decisions. So this is the hierarchy of need of data science. I have created this diagram for your understanding. Just like in normal research, we collect data. This data can be external data. It can be user content. We do sentiment analysis based on tweets of the people. And we move and store this data. For example, you collect your data and put it in an Excel sheet. So this data can be structured. For example, you have numbers, you have respondents responding to your questionnaire, which is based on Likert scale or Dichotom scale, and you store it in an Excel sheet. Or it can be unstructured data. For example, you collect data from an e-retail website about customer opinions or customer reviews about that particular product. And then you explore, transform, and clean the data, because to make it usable for further analysis, you need to transform it. You check the normalities, skewness, kurtosis, you check the missing values, you clean the data, and then you put it for analysis. Further, in machine learning, you start testing the model, just like you do a normal regression equation, dependent variable, independent variable, and you try to understand that how much variance is being explained in this particular model. And through machine learning, you try to get a model which is most suitable. And further, in artificial learning and artificial intelligence and deep learning, the system try to learn and optimize on its own. So the keyword is autonomy. The system becomes autonomous, and it requires less human intervention as compared to other systems. So that's where the juice is. Artificial intelligence gives us that power where we don't need to supervise the systems, and they can handle huge amount of data, and they can work flawlessly. So before I talk about artificial intelligence, I need to define what is intelligence. So in terms of human intelligence, I can define it. It is a person's ability to learn, understand, or deal with new situation, think abstractly, and then use that knowledge to manipulate one's environment. And we have another definition which uses all the adjectives, like the ability to acquire and apply memory, knowledge, experience, understanding, reasoning. And scientists believe that the artificial intelligence, now we know the definition of AI, they compare artificial intelligence on two levels. First, AI is equivalent to human intelligence, and then AI is exceeding human intelligence. So in my book chapter, I have talked about both of these levels. So let's talk about AI mimicking human intelligence, AI equal to human intelligence. So we have different definitions in which researchers believe that a machine can partially or completely replace humans, or they exhibit human intelligence, or they mimic human behavior, or it is a non-biological intelligence, or it is science of making intelligent machines. So we have a lot of definitions. But as compared to human intelligence, there is a problem. There is a problem of bounded rationality in human intelligence as compared to artificial intelligence. As a human, we have certain limitations, like cognitive limitations. For example, we have five senses. We can hear, smell. So we give a perception to our world through our senses. We have five senses: sight, smell, hearing, touch, and taste. And based on these senses, we give meaning to our environment. So there are certain issues with it. For example, no doubt, as a human, we can increase our capacities. Otherwise, also, I was reading article which say that our human eye can read 1 megabyte of data in 1 second. It is like reading one encyclopedia in 1 minute. So human brain is a miracle. Still, we have limitation because we are bombarded with a lot of information. For example, I'm giving this presentation, so my whole attention and focus is towards my laptop, towards the presentation. There may be a lot of things happening around me, but my attention is limiting my perception. So first is cognitive limitation. Second is information imperfection. For example, there is limit to what we can learn, what we can memorize. If I have to, very often I forget birthdays of my friends and family members, because you remember all the birthdays, all the passwords, and too much of information. Sometimes it gets jumbled up, and then you have to make a decision within a time frame. You have a limited time in which you have to make a decision. That leads to bounded rationality, and you make suboptimal decisions. The decisions are not optimal, but they are suboptimal. But in case of artificial intelligence, there are no such limitations. So computers can act intelligently. They can perform various processes like memorizing, learning, reasoning, and they can memorize thousands and thousands of birthdays, anniversary. They can remember everything, every password. I'm also working on a new concept which is related to your human memory, which is again related to AI and memory. The concept is known as digital amnesia, that digital forgetfulness. We do not remember all the passwords that we feed into different websites. I hope nobody remembers that. So we rely on our web browser. We just click, and then automatically the password is filled. So there is a limitation to human brain, but computer has no such limitation. And then rationality. So computer can achieve right thing under uncertainty. Like Dr. Rajesh shared about Industrial Revolution and Industry 4.0 during the introduction. So I have also covered that particular section in terms of in this presentation. For example, I have, in this slide, I'm sharing all the 4 revolutions, industrial revolutions, from mechanization to mass production to automation, where we had electronics and computers, and now we have Internet of Things and networks. So this is 4th industrial revolution. So I summarize the theme of these industrial revolutions under 4 intelligences. First one is mechanical, which is to learn and adapt to minimum. And then analytical, learn and adapt to systematically based on data. And then intuitive, and further empathetic. So in summary, what we can see that we are moving from IQ to EQ, from normal intelligence to emotional quotient, emotional intelligence. And you never know. After some time, you have the concept of SQ in computers. You have spiritual computing. So maybe your computers goes into a self-actualization level where machines know what they can do. So that would be interesting to know. That could be very dangerous, or it can be very useful. Let us see. You never know. So I talk about AI exceeding human intelligence as a next level of AI, in which AI has acquired advanced capabilities like reasoning, planning, conceptual learning, creativity, common sense, cross-domain thinking, and even self-awareness, like I have shared in my earlier slide. That you never know. There are a lot of science fiction movies on that, where computers are taking control of humanity. So you never know. let's talk about artificial intelligence in e-commerce business. So in e-commerce business process, we have broadly three processes, big processes: marketing, order processing, and servicing. And we have further segments under each main heading, which I'll be sharing in my subsequent slides. So first is marketing, then order processing, servicing. Let's talk about marketing. So first step is marketing research. Typically in marketing, we say STP, segment, target, and position. So with the help of artificial intelligence, we can segment, we can identify customer groups which are profitable. We can target right product, right price, right place, right time, with appropriate promotional strategy and appropriate distribution strategy. So traditionally, we have a lot of techniques like cluster analysis, guide, artificial neural networks, and GART. But with the help of artificial intelligence, for example, I have taken example of this is ANN, artificial neural network, where it can process massive amount of unstructured data. I have taken example of IBM Watson AI. So what it can do, it can identify themes, patterns from user post, and interpret the user experience, and it can then generate strategies to enhance customer experience. And through this knowledge, we can have a competitive edge. We know about, we have information about the external market forces, and we also know what our stakeholders demand from us. So it can influence customer preference and behavior. I have taken example of IBM Watson system. I'm giving an illustration here. A customer who has met an accident is writing to his insurance company. So in his application, he's writing that I was turning left on a green light and a car ran a red light and hit me. I got whiplash and I have not been able to walk or work since. The other driver accepts all the responsibility, but his insurance company won't stop reaching out to him for details. So before this application reaches the final decision maker, the system will automatically find the concepts. First is it's about automobile, it's about driving, it's about an accident. Then it will extract all the keywords like car, green light, hit, whiplash, insurance, and what category that insurance falls into: automobile, insurance, finance. And the sentiment is negative. The person is not able to go to the work since then, so it's negative sentiment and overall emotion is sad. So a decision maker, before he finally reads this application, even before reading that application, system will generate a report for the decision maker, on the basis of which you can finally, the decision making will be very, very simple based on this information. Second step under marketing is market stimulation, which is synonymous to marketing. It is the activity or set of institution processes, or CDC, I call it: creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging, offering that are of value for all the stakeholders: customer, clients, partners, society. But this process is very, very routine, time consuming, and repeated. But in this case, if you have an AI system, these processes like data collection, analysis, processing can be automated. So it creates a marketing ecosystem where AI can be of great use. So I'm sharing how AI can affect the marketing mix. I talk about 4 P's: product, price, place, promotion. In all the 4 P's, you find that customization is the key through artificial intelligence. For example, in terms of product, you will get hyper personalization, automatic recommendations. If you buy things online, very often you will find that if you're buying a mobile phone, the website will recommend you something which is of use to your mobile phone, maybe a mobile phone cover, a mobile headphone, or a battery, or a case, something like that. And it will be super personalized through AI system. Similarly, in terms of place, in e-commerce, I talk about digital retail. So there is a convenience. You can buy things from anywhere. You're sitting at home, you are sitting in your office. It's very convenient for you. You just need to browse through the website and you can put an order. And speed is super fast. You go through thousands, you can browse through different products with great speed. And the sales process is very simple. Simply click, click, click. You select a product, you sort a product, what attributes, what you want in your product. For example, you're buying a laptop, what processor you want, what memory you want, what size of hard disk you want. You simply filter and you click, click, click. Sales process is simple, and you have 24/7 support. Your website, these shops never shut down. They are 24/7 open. In terms of price, also you get personalized dynamic pricing. I would like to share one example. For example, you're traveling somewhere and you want to book a room. Very often, if you observe very keenly, you will see that if you keep on going to that particular site again and again, you will see a rise in their product, because they know that the traffic to this particular product is increasing. So it is based on demand and supply. They increase the product price. So if you want to buy something, you plan it accordingly, because if you keep on going to that particular website, this is my experience. If you keep on going to that website, they will know that this product is in demand, and as per demand and supply, they will increase the price. And let's talk about promotion now. So in promotion also, you will get personalized communication and unique experience and wow factor and minimum disappointment. So whenever you receive an email from your bank or from the e-retailer you're shopping from, you will find a email that says your name. It will say, dear Mr. So and so. Instead of saying dear customer, they'll take your name. So this is kind of personalization. And very often you will receive emails from your bank on your birthday, and they wish you happy birthday. So it is only through artificial intelligence they are doing all these things. All these processes, all these emails are automated. So these are the 5 key areas of artificial intelligence. Image recognition, text recognition, decision making, they are much worked upon areas. And voice recognition and autonomous robots and vehicle system are the areas on which big companies like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and Apple, they're investing their time and money and resources. So I'm giving you, throughout the presentation, I'm giving you a lot of information on the themes and the topics and the research areas in which you can invest your time, your academic time, to write articles or to do your thesis, because these areas are very interesting and they are going to be next best thing in coming few years. So you will be in demand. Next step is under order processing is term negotiation. For example, you go to a shop and you want to buy something. You get into argument, you get into a negotiation with the shopkeeper. So there are series of arguments and counter arguments, proponent and opponent. So in the process, both of you want to strike a deal, win a deal, which is win-win for both the parties. In this case, chatbots and virtual assistants are of great use for e-commerce industry. So they can negotiate as per market condition, and they are available 24/7. A very simple example is dynamic pricing. I have already shared. If you go to a website time and again, and you will see a sudden rise in that product, the price of that particular product, and also based on the market conditions. For example, based on the season, during tourist season, you will see sudden rise in the price of all the things related to tourism. So it is on real-time basis. So we can feed the information, and these systems will then take over. They are autonomous. They will automatically manage things for you. And next step is order selection and priority. I have taken an example of Alibaba, fashion AI technology. For example, you don't recognize a thing. You do not know the name of a product, so that you can put the keywords and search on internet. It may happen. For example, I'm in a different country. They have different language. If I do not know the product name, I can simply click the picture of that particular product and I can upload on the website, and the website is going to fetch the particular product for me. So it's very, very simple. And another example is real-time data tracking. It is in context of order selection and priority. For example, I want to buy a laptop. I go to website A, I check the specification of the laptop, I like it. But I have something in my mind that let's go and check to a different website if I can get a better deal. And suddenly you move to a different website, website B. And if that website is dynamically tracking your behavior, for example, you saw that the product is selling for 20,000 rupees, and the second website suddenly offers that laptop to you for 19,500, you get a discount of 500, or you get a free laptop bag. Suddenly you will be inclined to buy that product from that particular website. This is how real-time data tracking works. And same applies to product recommendation also. So if you're buying a laptop, say example, you're buying a laptop, so the website is going to recommend you a laptop bag or something related to your laptop. And next step is order receipt. So when you're buying a product, you may have certain queries, certain objection during the checkout process, during the buying process. So computer systems powered by artificial intelligence, they can overcome your objection. For example, you have bots, they pop up, you punch in your queries, they answer your queries immediately, because they know that if they do not, for example, if you are ready to buy a product, you have money in your hand, you have credit card in your hand, and you're determined to buy that product at that moment. If that company delays, if you have to write email, you will not buy that product from that website. So the help is to be then and there at the moment. So I have taken an example of Amazon Eco. For example, you can simply say that Amazon, I want this particular product, and it is going to buy it for you. So this is how artificial intelligence can aid in order receipt. And another benefit is that you get, as I already mentioned and shared, that personalization is the key, and you can buy things from a variety of devices. You can buy it from your laptop, you can buy it from tablet, from your mobile phone, and through mobile phone, I mean, the penetration is so high, and if the companies can work on the small screen, on the user experience. Another very important field is UX, user experience, in which e-commerce companies are investing. If you can increase the user experience in the small screen, then you have an edge. Next step is order billing and payment management. In e-commerce industry, the amount of customer data is huge. Amount of transaction is huge. You cannot do the billings and invoicing manually. So you have to adopt automated systems to handle huge number of customers, payments, and you have to segregate the invoices. And what you can do, you can extract the data, generate invoices, and you avoid any kind of anomalies and inconsistencies. And second, very useful application is payment optimization. That when you're buying things online, you can pay through various other in different forms. For example, e-wallets, credit cards, debit cards, online banking, and maybe cryptocurrency and bitcoins in near future. And another very interesting part of order billing and payment management is fraud detection, which is my favorite. I've taken example of Frogster. So this company uses historical data related to transaction, billing, shipping address, and the IP address to detect any kind of fraud. So it is like if you have seen that movie Minority Report, in which the cops catch the victim before the victim is doing anything wrong. So it is predictive. So it is very, very futuristic kind of fraud detection. So if somebody is going to do something wrong, you stop it beforehand. And once you receive the payment, invoicing has been done. You have to pick up the product for delivery. You have to deliver that product at right place, right time, right quantity, and right quality. But order patterns are very irregular. Sometimes demand is high, sometimes demand is low, or there is very limited processing time. For example, whenever we make an online purchase, we are very impatient. We want our product as soon as possible. So the delivery schedules are very, very short. So in that case, robotics and space age fulfillment technologies, they will be the future of delivery and logistics. And the second part of the story is sustainable supply and reverse logistics. Because in online shopping experience or digital shopping experience, and in case of e-commerce, tangibility is a big concern because, for example, you're buying a product, you see it in a different way online. All the companies are working hard to give a three-dimensional view of a product so that customer know what he's buying. But still, sometimes you buy a product and you feel disappointed and you feel like returning that particular product. So, for example, in case of apparels, you buy a shirt and that shirt is not of your size and you want to return it. So when you return that product, originally the product is packed in a box with all the barcodes so that machines can recognize what inside the box. But when you return the product, you rip off all the outer packaging of that particular product. And then how machines can recognize that product to restock that product in the warehouse of the company. For example, you return a shirt, but how do a system will understand without the barcode? In that case, product similarity and automatic image recognition system, they are of great use and they can help in restocking. So probably this is how you are going to get your delivery in the future, through drones. And I was also reading something on which Amazon is working on a predictive delivery system. They will already know through the trends and through the customer data that what you are going to order. They will already know that, and they will start stocking that product near to you, so that in the moment you make purchase of that particular product, it is delivered to you in no time. So that is like predictive delivery, predictive analytics. And the last step is customer service and support. After your product is delivered, you have use the product. Service, artificial intelligence will be of great use. So first step is profiling of current users or potential users, and this profiling can be based on psychographic. Psychographic, I hope you know about VALS, value, attitude, lifestyle segmentation, based on behavioral. It was given by Stanford professors. And then demographic, it was given in 1800 by Achille Gillard, is a Belgian statistician. And based on demographic, most of our papers, we use demographic details: age, sex, location, education, income level, marital status. And then another segmentation is biographic segmentation. Grosnickel and Raskin, they have given this segmentation. I have used this segmentation in my thesis also. It's very interesting. They segment the people on the behavior of their internet use or computer use, web use. And I have given a new concept known as cellular graphics. And I have an Indian copyright of that particular concept. And I am very, very hopeful that maybe next year I'll be able to complete the book on that particular concept. And it is again will be used for profiling the customer. And so you profile the customers based on frequency, recency, type of product, the size of past purchases, and then you maintain a relationship with the prospect or the potential customer. Next step is personalizing. There is no limit to the number of languages a computer can speak. And after coming to Czech Republic, I'm using Google Translate. So I just simply punch in something in English and I get the translation in local language, or I can click a picture of something in local language and get a translation in English. So this is again an example of artificial intelligence, how they are of great use in our daily life, not just in e-commerce. In personalizing also, customers' emotional states can be identified. For example, very simple example is sentiment analysis or the text analysis we do. So through the text, we can understand the emotional states of the customer, and accordingly we can react. If a customer is angry, so there are different, there can be different emotional states: negative, positive, happiness, surprise, disgust, anger, fear. So on the basis of that particular emotional state, the bots can react to the customer. And they can retrieve the information, work on the customer feedback, and devise suitable service recovery strategy. And these systems are very efficient, very reliable, high quality, always available, and they are very, very less susceptible to human errors. But after saying all this, I would like to share one a few lines by Stephen Hawking, that the rise of powerful AI will be either the best or the worst thing ever to happen. So it is good that artificial intelligence is helping us, but you never know, so you have to be vigilant. If you like the presentation, you can find me on different databases on Scopus, Socket, Publons, or you can simply, I'm sure you will not be able to remember the link that I'm giving, so you can simply Google my name and you can put e-commerce with it. So you can find me, my publication, or you can write to me, write to your faculty members, they can reach me out, and I'll be happy to share more on this particular topic. Thank you so much for your time. I'll be happy to have any queries.
Thank you, Dr. Kalia. It was a mesmerizing journey of AI into finance and economics. You told us about the customer profiling and natural language processing. Today morning, I was reading one of the blogs that there is one public listed company in India by the name Bombay Oxygen Investments. And recently, due to the COVID, rise in the COVID cases, there is a shortage of oxygen. So people, without checking the fundamentals of the company in which region the company operates, they just bought over too many shares of the company, and the shares have risen about 157% since Feb 1. So this is a pure case of natural language processing and sentiment analysis, which is the AI is also doing. You provide the AI data, the gender, what time you purchase, is it the Mondays, is it the 17th of every month, when do you recharge your mobile, when do you recharge your TV. So you get something about cashback and personalized messages. That is customer profiling. So it's a mix of increasing the sales and revenue using technology. So we have a mix of students from BTech domain, IT domain, and MBA. So on behalf of all the panelists and speaker, I request the students, if they have any questions, they can put in the chat box and the questions can be taken.
So, I have received a question. First of all, I would congratulate Dr. Prateek Kalia for a very well drafted presentation. It was really a very good presentation. I must applaud it. So students, one student have asked me a question: do I need to learn any computer language to work in AI field after completing my MBA?
Okay. So I would like to tell him that I don't have a computer background, and I did my science. I did bachelor in science. Then I did MBA in international marketing. Then I did my PhD related to e-commerce. Now I am working on human-computer interactions, especially in case of e-commerce. First of all, you should know the fundamentals of how things work. I mean, you don't need to be a programmer. I do not know how programming works, but when I talk about artificial intelligence, just like management, I believe it is not just about computers. It is about a lot of things. It is about psychology. It is about marketing. It is about computers. Yes, I know that behind the scenes you need to have programming. You need to understand the fundamentals, but at the same time you also need to understand about statistics. For example, if you know about regression, because these things are doing nothing, but they have independent variable, they have independent variables. But generally, when we make a regression equation, we have like 2, 3, 4, 5 variables, or we have a moderator, or we have some mediation, we have some control variables. But just imagine when you have too many variables, how do you handle it? How do you calculate it? For example, when you do a bootstrapping, with 5,000 iteration, you have to wait for 15 minutes at least, even if you have a very good system. And you're working on 300, 500 sample size. And imagine if you have to work on like lakhs and huge amount of data. So that is about big data analytics. So my suggestion is you should know the fundamentals. Yes, if you know what goes under the hood, if you know about programming, if you know about, these days, students, I will recommend students to learn R and Python. So which is in great demand, especially in terms of job opportunity and building your profile. I would recommend they should learn R and Python. So programming is important. As a programmer, as a BTech student, you know a lot of programming, but you also need to know some statistics also. So it's not just about programming. Yes.
So like I have my question also, like we have Alexa at home. So if we keep her on all the time, so would she be listening to our things and passing on this information to Amazon?
See, recently I was watching a video, and the video is on YouTube by a person. His profile name is Scam Baiter. So he found few scammers who are like contacting different customers in other countries about their Amazon account, and they ask for their OTP. And that guy, what he did, he hacked their systems, their Wi-Fi system, and through their web camera, he was seeing them, and he put that screen on their screen that, okay, I'm watching you, I'm seeing you. So you can understand how vulnerable your data can be, even if you are, feeling that you are secure. So if you are talking about these devices, so this is my personal opinion. For example, you have a lot of wearable devices also, not just about computers. You have like different Fitbit and all kind of they even know your body statistics. How much you walk, how much you speak, how much you sweat, what is your heart rate, what is your body mass index. So they are going much more into you, because they know. I was reading a paper and they say that data is oil. Earlier we used to say that if you have a Gulf country, they are rich because they have oil. But now we say that if you have data, so you are rich. So that's why Google, Facebook, Microsoft, these companies are on top listed companies. And if I was watching a very interesting video in which they make a timeline, in which you see that from products, there is a shift in services in data-based companies who are on the top. Earlier Coca-Cola was on top. Now, Facebook, Google, they are on the top. So data is very precious, my friend. And if you're giving your data for free, so it is good, for the companies. They can predict many things about you. Yes.
Yes. So thank you so much, Dr. Prateek Kalia. I would now request, yes, Dr. One, please.
Sir, I have a question for you. So we have MC and BCA students as well as MBA students are attending the sessions. Now, MBA students are actually implementing e-commerce, marketing, finance, and HR. And MC students are working on the programming end, right? We teach both in that way. I have a question. Customers generally take the decision by influencing through the reviews when they buy online, right? Can AI tackle fake reviews?
Yeah, there are a lot of papers which have been, addressing this issue on fake reviews, the patrons, and how to know the genuinity of the person who is making the review. Normally, when you buy from a big site, they will say that, okay, he's a registered user or he's a frequent buyer, how frequently he's buying. And also, for example, I buy something from Amazon, they asked me for my review. For example, I buy a gear knob for my car. So they ask for my review. So instead of asking from somebody who has no experience about the product, they are actually asking from the person who has made the purchase. So this is how they are also tackling these things to just take care of, of these fake reviews.
Right.
Yeah, it is a very, very interesting area. Very, very interesting area.
Thanks. Mr. Kaval, you can proceed with it.
So I would request Dr. Binder, right, if he has any question, or then we can move on. Dr. Rai?
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Dr. I have seen that there are very few companies that are actually executing their AI initiatives, and most get stuck on how to start. And there are common barriers to beginning with commerce, artificial intelligence.
Right.
Am I audible, first of all?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. You're audible. Yes.
Okay. So what do I wish from you is that please share your thoughts on that on the part of the organizations in the times to come.
Yeah.
This is my personal observation. They
Yeah.
lack in their vision. They lack in
Yeah.
their vision. And number two is there are certain expertise gaps, you see, and there are certain techniques they are handling their data very badly.
Yeah.
And last of all is competing technology priorities. So I would like to have your opinion on these points so that we can be enlightened.
Yeah. So I have a very clear opinion on that. For example, if I have to travel to Czech Republic from India, I will not learn how to fly. I will not buy an aeroplane. I will not buy all the stuff. Instead, I will just buy a ticket and I can fly from one place to another place. Same is with small companies, because all the research and development that is happening in AI, it involves a lot of lot of brain, lot of resources, lot of money, and which is not possible for a small company to invest. So what they can do, they can rent or they can hire or they can have these processes, from the company. For example, Amazon is already, offering AWS. They're offering their cloud services. Microsoft is offering, Google is offering their services for small companies, small enterprises, which they can use, and they can rent it for a small amount of money. Not small, but it is very small as compared if you start putting up, on your own. If you generate your own resources, it is better than creating a resource. You better rent it. This is how they have to. This is the way forward.
Ali, may I add something to this? What you were conveying?
Yeah, sure.
In core computer science, this is called software as a service or platform as a service, which is a major
SaaS.
cloud feature for small and medium
Exactly.
enterprises.
Yes. So I'm talking less
So that you
technical
don't have
because
to
I know
buy-
I have very diverse audience. I have people from MBA background, from other background. So it's very simple. You rent the service and you enjoy. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prateek ji. You have elaborated beautifully a lot of areas. Now, it is really a wonderful thing for all of our students. Having a background of sciences, then going to the MBA, and then working on this e-commerce and further finalizing it with the artificial intelligence. And definitely not a particular kind of skill, programming skills are not required, but definitely a good knowledge about mathematics and the quantitatives that is to be taken into consideration. And you beautifully highlighted that as a suggestion to students, the language R and then Python, they can be considered. So reason being, as a part of the panelists, around 3-4 panelists, they are taking care of either engineering department, computer applications, as well as our management area. So my suggestion to all of them is how to go with the use of R and Python along with the curriculum or whatever it is given by the university. So how we are in a position to give the basics of all these areas so that students, they can develop their taste and they can finalize about the area of their specialization, and then how they can go further in order to enrich their skills with regard to artificial intelligence. So Prateek ji, any suggestion by you to all the students how in case if they are really interested in the area of e-commerce, what kind of practices, what kind of activities they should start simultaneously, right in the first year of the degree or the second year of the degree or only in the final year of the degree? So how to take up the different issues? In case if you can suggest something on this, definitely will be wonderful for all the students.
Okay. So I would suggest students, because I've been with students for a very long time, and I know one of my students asked me that, okay sir, I'm going to this university outside India, and can you please write me a recommendation letter? And I said, okay, yeah. And she also, I mean, asked me that, sir, do you know, I mean, what should I write in terms of my research project, because I have done nothing. I said, it is about your BTech, final project thesis, what you have found in your project. And she literally said, that's nothing interesting. I mean, it's as usual. So that's the point, is when you're doing your summer training projects, my advice to the students is, while you are doing your summer training project, it's not just to get grades, not just for getting good grades. It is actually deciding your career. It is, so when you decide your topic, sit with your mentor, sit with your faculty member, and decide, okay, I want to work on this particular topic. And this is only going to happen when you read about that particular topic, when you have interest in that particular topic. Otherwise, you will not have any queries, any question, or anything to know about that particular topic. So reading is very important. Then once you read, you understand the problem, then you discuss that problem. Your mentor is going to help you out and decide that particular problem, and then you work on that problem for your minor project, and then you work on that problem for your major project. So when you work on that particular thing for 1 or 2 years, and then you further decide that, okay, I have to take this thing as my career, then you have a solid footing and you have a good grounds on which you can decide. And finally, and I will say that data analytics, e-commerce is a very, very promising industry in the near future. Now people, after COVID, now people are believing into online system. I would like to share my personal experience. When I started my PhD a good 11 years back on online buying behavior and e-commerce, most of my friends and fellow colleagues, they told me that either you should pursue your thesis in typical management subject domain like marketing, finance, human resource, because e-commerce is a micro domain. You should not get into it. But somehow I was sure that this domain is going to work out very well in near future. So which finally happened. So so I'm happy that the domain and topic in which I have invested my time is growing up, is turning out to be good. So as a student, you have to have that vision, while reading through your books. And it's not just for reading reading books for getting good grades or writing good notes, but in terms of getting an idea in your mind that what you are going to do and how things will shape up. You can also imagine, if you do not know anything about science and technology, at least use your imagination. Imagine that what is going to happen in next few years. Maybe cars will not have tires, maybe they will fly. Something strange will happen. Autonomous vehicle system is not a fantasy now. Now you have cars which are like self-driven cars, and delivery is being made in Dubai through vehicles which are like driverless. So now fiction is becoming reality. So just think about some workable fiction and then start working on it. And I'm sure you will do something very, very nice, because you have good support, good infrastructure. Your faculty is already reaching out so well to different people, different researchers. And so whatever I'm sharing is what I share with the students here. So you are at par internationally. So you're getting all the information. So now it's your turn how you handle this information.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Kalia, we are very thankful and extend very warm thanks to you from our end. And we are also very thankful to our director, sir, who is very visionary. And under his extreme, solid guidance, we are all trying to fulfill his vision and ultimately the mission. So he is very much interested that all the students and the faculty, they should be, so they should be known worldwide. This is my take on this subject from his end. So as far as this lecture is concerned, it was extremely informative and thought-provoking. We have our BTech in artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and the allied subjects. So you see, as you rightly said, that we are heading in the right direction. In the times to come, sir, we will be needing your more help in this area. So you see, students from BTech, they are in third year of their engineering, and your support is required like anything. So as far as this talk was concerned, it was extremely easy to understand. You see, I have myself gained a lot, and the working of the artificial intelligence in terms of 4P concept. You see, this is my take on your subject. So I think, as I did for myself, I think whosoever has attended this seminar, inclusive of the deans and my fellow colleagues, I wish that all the students, they have gained, I think, tremendously. So thank you so very much, and with folded hand, we are very thankful to you for spared your valuable time. Thank you, Prateek sir, for joining us and delivering a beautiful talk.
Thank you. I'm glad.
Thank you so much, sir. Once again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.